Hello and greetings, fellow Starcrafters. Welcome back to Game 2 between OgsMC and I wanted to say I almost said well, I did say 3 last time, but I almost said 3 again. This is Game 2 between MC and CCMxiaOt. This map is another player versus player, as I said, and it is important to point out that the colors of the players has changed. MC was blue in the last game, and now he is red, so don't get confused. That is why I have the very useful name tag thing at the top that Blizzard was nice enough to put into these replays. Just one of Blizzard's many improvements that they have added. And I sound like I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding. These are really nice improvements, and I'm really glad that they did. This map is Terminus RE, which is it was one of the first round of GSL maps. It's a very big macro map. Just a random neutral supply depot there for reasons I've explained previously to stop me from being walled in. But there are 3 bases essentially protected by, well, one entryway right here. And there is a destructible rocks which leads in if you like defend it back here at this wall. Then there's a destructible rocks which lets you in. It's designed to be a macro map. It's not probably going to be too much of a macro map just because of the nature of Protoss versus Protoss, and as you saw in the last game, how unbelievably quick these games can go. These games are just like, you know, like the units like fight, and then like one person 4 gates, and then it's just like a build order loss, or like, you know, they 4 gate and the other person DT rushes, and there's no robotics when they get there, and then they just lose. You know, like, these sorts of things are very common. We do see MC Scout going the correct direction the first time, so that means MC is going to be ahead of his opponent about where his base is. CCMxiaOt's probe going the wrong way, so it's going to take him a little while to be able to figure it out. He might figure it out by how quick MC's probe got there. That MC was probably scouting after Gateway, like he was. Although he might have thought that he went the wrong way after scouting after Pylon, is possible as well. We do see both the gateways finishing, and we should see 2 cybernetics cores coming down. We do see CCMxiaOt's cybernetics core is just going to be just a titch little later than CCMxiaOt's, or than MC's. My mistake. I almost got fooled by the colors myself. And it's just going to be a little bit later. That's not really going to matter too much on this map. It would matter on like Steps of War or some other very small map. But in times like this, these tiny differences do matter in Protoss versus Protoss, but not, you know, a couple seconds. Literally 4 seconds. Oh. 2 seconds. 2 seconds difference. But, you know, every little bit counts, I suppose. We could look at the... Okay, harvesters are exactly the same. So far it's going to be a mirror image build. This sort of build that we see right here, unless the Protoss player is cheesing with either a cannon rush or some sort of... some sort of double gateway, proxy gateway, in which you try to get as many zealots as possible, then this is a very standard opening. There's also a no-gas kind of fast expansion in which you get 2 gateways right away, and you build a bunch of zealots. You build 4 zealots, and then you get cybernetics core. Then as soon as the core finishes, you chrono boost out 2 stalkers and do a little timing push with 4 zealots and 2 stalkers. That build is not very common, though. I haven't seen the pros really successfully do that in a very long time. I believe Day 9 had a open, and we see a slice against that probe. Luckily, he was able to scoot away. He's faster than the zealot. Day 9 did if you ever want to check out Day 9's blog, he did that build one time, but I haven't really seen it since then, or heard anyone else talk about it. We do see both players getting the stalker. We see that CCMxiaOt's he's actually a little bit supply blocked. I don't think it did not slow down his probe production, but it slightly delayed the second stalker. It's not really a big deal. It looks like MC is just going to go ahead and sit on the watchtower. CCMxiaOt's most likely going to move out and try to scare the probe away from and MC's going to go ahead and run away to scare him away from the watchtower. This watchtower is super critical, and if a player in any sort of matchup, actually, it doesn't matter if it's Protoss versus Protoss, any sort of matchup. Ooh, and we see a Twilight Council going down from CCMxiaOt. Twilight Council is quite good in Protoss versus Protoss because it allows you to get blink for your stalkers, which not only makes your stalkers faster than their stalkers, than your opponent's stalkers, but it also lets you micro them against them, and the stalker has to shoot, and then the shooting has to hit, and ooh, actually did a little bit of damage there, and he might not get another shot off, actually. Nope, he's going to let the zealot go ahead and run through, and that's going to cause MC to back off to the watchtower. but they shoot, and then the shooting has to hit before any damage is dealt. So actually, if you blink after they shoot but before the damage hits, sometimes you get away and are actually able to micromanage and waste shots from the stalkers, from some stalkers onto other stalkers, so it can be very effective. We do see is indeed going blink and not Dark Templars. You can tell he wasn't going Dark Templars because his second gas was relatively late. MC, meanwhile, by the way, it's important to point out that MC actually did go the same build as the previous game. He actually did it through a 3-gate build, but this time he was able to hold off his opponent's aggression because his opponent did a 2-gate Twilight Council. So actually, CCMxiaOt looks like he's going to be in a little bit better position. It should be in a little bit, I would just say just a little bit better position because his Blink's going to finish sooner. If he does some sort of timing attack based off the finishing of Blink, then it's possible he can actually deal a lot of damage to MC. However, MC does in fact have 2 sentries here, which not only can force field the ramp, which if you force field it before the Blink Stalkers can get up there, then they can't spot the high ground, and then the Blink Stalkers just get shot at and aren't able to do anything. However, if the Blink Stalkers do go ahead and walk past, get a field of the upper ramp, and then blink up, then first of all that takes away all the bonus that he would normally get. Actually, we do see Dark Templars coming from MC. So if his opponent CCMxiaOt does not get any detection within the next 80 seconds, then we will see a very swift loss on the part of CCMxiaOt. CCMxiaOt is go ahead and moving in for a blink micro thing. It did waste his micro. If he blinks up, it's going to waste the advantage that he had from the Blink Stalkers, but also the Sentry's can Guardian Shield, which lowers the damage by 2 from the shots of the Stalkers, making them even less effective. We're going to see a little bit of a dance going on here. We do see a lot more Zealots on the part of MC. And yes, he is going to go ahead and blink up. MC should, he's just going to use Force Fields to be able to divide his opponent's forces, be able to stop them from running away, so the Zealots can take full whacks at them. And they're going to go ahead and blink back into a more defensive position. And the Zealots are just going to chase them out of there. MC is way ahead here. Look at all those Zealots. He needs more Stalkers, but wow, that is a huge number of Zealots. You just checked, actually, you can see him clicking on it just to make sure. And actually, it wouldn't surprise me. Yep, MC does have, in fact, a Q to make sure that he is able to do one more round of Stalkers before he's switching to DTs. And as soon as he builds these DTs, detection is not going to come in time. We do not see any robotics facility on the part of CCMxiaOt. And these Blink Stalkers are actually losing anyway, so CCMxiaOt would be in a bad position regardless of the existence of the Dark Shrine, which is now finishing. But he's just gonna flat out lose once those Dark Templars reach the base. And look at that! Look at all these forces that MC has. So actually, that was a really risky move on CCMxiaOt's part. He was really hoping for that Blink timing attack to be effective. That's why he had 1 less gateway for so long, and actually 2 less gateways for kind of a while as well. But so his attack was just entirely ineffective. We do see that the Dark Templar is going ahead and race towards his base. His opponent sees that and is building a robotics facility. That's 50 seconds he has to wait though, and we're gonna go see and watch it. We can go ahead and just follow him. This is certain doom. This is death stalking CCMxiaOt right here. And also one other thing is that while his opponent's dealing with this, MC's nice force field. Boom. Goodbye though. If he wants to be a little sly, he can go ahead and take out the supply depot for absolutely no reason. We do see the other and another force shield goes up, preventing the Dark Templars getting in. Great job on CCMxiaOt's part, being able to hold back MC. So it looks like MC is not going to win immediately, but MC is still in a better position. If you look at the income tab, does he have? Nope, same number of harvesters. 27, I believe, is the optimal number of harvesters, and he's currently out of force field. So the Dark Templar went ahead and just climbed up, and now they're dealing as much damage to attacking units as possible. And MC is going to just go ahead and set his entire force down. The Observer's coming out soon, but it's going to be taken out. I believe these Dark Templar are just going to go ahead and move back and rejoin the army so he doesn't lose them to any sort of Observer which is coming out. And then this way he's going to have all of his Dark Templar plus this entire huge army that is much bigger than his opponents. If you go to army size, his difference is 20, which is huge in a Protoss versus Protoss. A difference of 1 Stalker is a big deal in a Protoss versus Protoss. A difference of... and actually he's getting a Warp Prism. He's going to try to claw his way back to the base by setting up the Warp Prism, but it's not going to matter. The Dark Templar switched to an Archon so that they can take more damage. He's going to move the Archon back to be able to save its life, but he's going to blink past it. It's not going to matter though. I'm not sure what the point of that blink was. He might be able to take out the Archon. He wasn't even able to take out the Archon. So we can go ahead and move the Archon back. Move it back. Ooh, down to 10 health. Anyway, it's not going to matter. Look at this. Army size is a difference of 40 right now. Blink Biker is not going to help you when you only have 2 Stalkers left. And he's going to go ahead and move up and take his opponents out. And actually, the Archon is massive, so if MC wanted to, he could have taken out the force field with the Archon and then just walked down into his opponent's base. Didn't end up mattering though. Obviously, MC was way ahead. The failed blink timing attack on the part of Mixiaot just absolutely devastated him, and he was never able to really recover from that. He just had too few units, and we saw that in both games actually. The person with the more gateways was the winner. So we'll see if both players try some sort of 4-gate in the next game, but if not, you know, whatever. These are great players. I'm sure they'll be trying lots of different player versus player, or Protoss versus Protoss. I always say PvP. I think player versus player from my EverQuest days. But this is PGO Milncraft signing off. Moving on to game number 3.